Sweet. I don't know how to use this at all. Oh, I hope this makes sense. Yo, what's going on, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's going on? How to write hello world on the screen in Python? Yeah, you don't. I'm sorry. There's really not much you can do about that. All right. We already got some jokesters in the chat. This is awesome. All right, first live experience. Sweet. Yeah, curl YSAPs. Check it out. Curl ysap.sh. Go ahead and try that out on your own terminal. Actually, let me make that easier to read. There you go. That doesn't look terrible. What's up, Chromatic Adventure? Yeah, this is base. Oh my god, yo, this chat's flowing in. Awesome. Yeah, I wasn't sure how this live would go. I've gone live before on TikTok, but that was years ago. So Instagram, this is my first time going live on this account. If you followed me today, what should you expect? Well, expect a live stream. I don't know if I'll be doing more live streams in the future. We'll see how tonight goes. But you can expect programming content, bash stuff, bash scripts, sysadmin stuff, Unix stuff, all sorts of fun things like that. That's what you can expect. Yo, it's 6 a.m. in India. That's wild. Nice shirt. Yeah, isn't that sick? I like it. Got to represent. Curlysap.sh. Go ahead and try it. That's my website. It'll work on any terminal. Asterisk. I have no idea if it'll work on Windows. Have you heard of Splunk and what do you think about it? I've worked at places that use Splunk and I think it's a nightmare to debug sometimes. Hey buddy, says Beth Seps. What's up, Beth? Oh man, look at that profile picture. Looking muscular. Love to see it, Beth Seps. What's your favorite game or program? Oh my god, favorite game? Super Mario 64 or Life Force for the NES. Favorite program? I don't know. LS is pretty cool. For a GoFundMe for a larger whiteboard. The problem is, I went to go buy this whiteboard today, and this was the largest one that they could get me. It's 2 feet by 3 feet. I wanted bigger. I want to get one that's like 7 or 6 feet by like 4 feet. But I got to figure out a way to get that. So don't worry. In the future, I'll have a bigger whiteboard because we'll see if this works. Ubuntu or nah? Ubuntu's fine. If you're getting started with Linux, I'd say yeah, definitely use Ubuntu. Ubuntu's great. I mean, I remember starting probably on Ubuntu server. I think that was like 2007, 2008. Bros Majestic, thank you. Stop that. Get out of here. But I am. You're right. SC Linux, that's a nay. I've disabled that on almost every version of Linux I've used. But I'm not the best Linux admin, okay? So there's that. Said something else. Do you woodwork, Bash and a carpenter? Yes, I do woodworking. So I figured I would just set up in my garage. So actually, this is just... I just screwed it to a piece of wood and it's just hanging there. So makes it really easy to pick up and tear down. Hopefully it doesn't fall over during this live stream. That'd be embarrassing. Bash or PowerShell? What do you think the answer is to that? Actually, people in the chat, let them know what you think the answer to that is. Bash or PowerShell? Also, can people hear me? I've never done a live. I assume it's fine. I've recorded on my phone a million times. It's probably okay. Hopefully it works. Bash, that's the correct answer. Thoughts on Proxmox? I've heard of it. That's all I know about it. I've never used it myself. It's like a hypervisor for like Linux, right? Is that what it is? I don't actually fully know. I've never used it. You sound wonderful. Well, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Do you own a CNC router? I do not. I have a laser engraver, but not a CNC router. Why curl ysap.sh doesn't work? I think it should work. Unless my website is down, curl ysap.sh. Should just work. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. I haven't actually done anything yet. I've just been hanging out. You should do voice acting. Oh, why, thank you. That's so nice. I have a friend who is a voice actor, and he has a meme page here on Instagram, and I've lent my voice on that channel once, and it was a lot of fun, so I hope to do it again in the future. Where'd you get that shirt? I want to say I got it on Redbubble. I'd have to double check. Site works. Thank you, Nate. You ever hear of D-Trace? It's a great question, Paper Tigers. Yes, I have. I'm hoping that someone could make like a channel where they talk about D-Trace and like systems performance stuff, but we would need a good performance engineer to do that. So I would love to see content like that in the future. So Paper Tigers, if you know of anyone, that'd be great. Why not make a Twitch or Kick? I've thought about it. I've never really done that. I've done Twitch in the past for video game stuff. But the reason why not make one is because this is all relatively new. Don't forget, I made this Instagram 3.5 months ago. So this is my first time going live on it. So we're just trying things out and seeing what sticks. So what do you do roughly for work? So many people have answered this question. I don't really talk about my job that much, but I can tell you it's just basically like, without getting too deep into it, sysadmin stuff, dealing with freshly racked servers, firmware upgrades, operating system install, verifying networking, all sorts of on-prem stuff like that. Let's see what we got. Chat, should I make D-Trace content? What do you guys think? Should Paper Tigers and chat make D-Trace content? I think that'd be sick, actually. Who says we'll see what the chat says. Copilot or not? No. If I was replying to your comment, like one of my videos, I would go in to explain why I don't use it. If you want my raw take, it's like, I don't need it. But yeah, no Copilot. I'm not against like autocomplete stuff like that, but Copilot's just been, I don't care for it. Drink more. Okay. This is a soft drink, by the way. This is ginger beer. I'm not actually drinking. I don't know if you're allowed to drink alcohol on lives. Regardless if you are or not, this is not. This is a soft drink. Let's see what we got here. I'm getting a lot of comments that say people love me. So thank you very much. That's very nice. How about linters? Yeah, I can get down with linters. Shell check is pretty cool. If I'm running Rust, you got cargo format, obviously. That's pretty sick. It's not an IPA. No, I promise it's a soft drink. Ginger beer. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I wouldn't be drinking alcohol anyways. I'm getting over a sinus infection, and I think it's actually coming back. So I'm already sometimes feeling like a little bit tipsy, just like a little bit dizzy. So that's not great. Going to the doctor's tomorrow. We'll get this taken care of, though. So that's super annoying. If you had to get a job now, what route would you take as a freshie? I'm not the best person to answer that question. I've thought about doing that. So many people have asked me that question. I'm sorry I can't give you a better question. I've been in the industry for over a decade. Now I have a social media following, so I could just point to this. My advice is become a content creator. I'm just kidding. That's not good advice. I really don't even know what advice to give people starting out. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what the market's like for a fresh person. So many people, I could get up here and explain, like, you should print your resume out on hard copy paper, but that's useless information, isn't it? So I don't even know if I'd be helpful there. Hopefully other people in the comments can chime in and talk about their experience, but my experience, it wouldn't even be useful here. So I would just be pretending or talking like from my high horse. It'd be useless. Let's see, I'm gonna scroll back on the chat a little bit, see if I missed anything. So, Dude says, hey. What's your hot take? Oh my God, my hot take. You guys want some hot takes? Maybe we could just clip these out of context. Hot take. System D is a little bit too much for me. It does too many things. I would rather just use something that's not System D. I think it's poorly named. The system daemon, what does that mean? The computer daemon? I mean, what does it do? Everything? The system? I mean, in a way, it kind of does everything. So maybe it's actually appropriately named. That's probably my hot take. I don't know what other hot takes I have. One time I was asked if I do use Copilot or an AI thing to help me code, and my response was, I would never mock my intelligence like that. So I can have hot take responses, and then I level them out before I put them on the internet for all to see. Let's see what we got here. Yo, Kisses Boo, what's up? Thoughts on Kotlin? I know that it exists. That's all I know. Kotlin's like the Java thing. Is that what it is? It's like a different Java, or it uses the JVM, something like that. Android uses it. Like, that's literally all I know. I don't know. I really don't know. Greetings from Costa Rica. Yo, awesome. Greetings from the US. Lukewarm take. It is a lukewarm take, isn't it? I don't know of any really hot takes. My hot takes are just my lukewarm takes ramped up to 1,000,000. Like, my lukewarm take is, I think learning to write bash and scripting is a useful skill, and it can be helpful in your day-to-day work as like an engineer or a backend engineer, systems engineer, DevOps or something. My hot take is not enough people know the shell, and it's embarrassing watching them use the terminal. It's like, you do this for a job and you look like you've never used it before. So I think my hot take is the same as my lukewarm take. My lukewarm take. I just say it a little bit differently. So, did you see Deadpool and Wolverine? Of course I did. It was incredible. Hugh Jackman, beautiful man. System D doesn't stand for System Daemon? Yeah, I don't even know what it stands for. That was just my guess. And he says they're all hot takes. I guess coming from me, they are. Let's see what we got here. What made you obsessed with your work? Top 3 reasons. I'm not obsessed with my work. I really am not. I actually took a 1.5 years off of working. I like computers and Unix systems. I'm not obsessed with what I do for work. If I didn't have to work, like if I experienced a windfall of cash, I'd probably just quit tomorrow. Like, my job's great, don't get me wrong, I like it, but I don't care about work that much. Do any C++? Nope, not at all. C, Rust, and Bash are kind of my big 3. Whoa, I'm getting way behind on the chat. You guys are nuts. This is awesome. Thoughts on swap memory? If you run out of memory, you go to swap so you don't crash the system. I think that makes sense. Here's a hot take. Linux, when you run out of memory, it just starts killing things. You just have the OOM, the out of memory thing, like the killer comes out. Wild. Sorry, back in my day, if you run out of RAM, the system just dies because you don't have enough RAM. But like, not really. You actually get a malloc error, and then your program can decide what to do when it handles that error. But the killer, like, that's wild. If you're a Linux user land process, you're in a hostile environment. Like, yo, that's crazy. Yo, what's up, Dave? It's Ash. What's up, Ash? Yo, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm glad you appreciate the work that went into this Instagram and how impressive it was, okay? I appreciate that. That's awesome. Sorry, guys, I got to skip some of this. I am super behind on the chat. Your thoughts in the cybersecurity field? I follow a lot of cool creators that talk about cybersecurity. There's a lot of sec guys. The Ox, obviously, Foxhound on here. He knows a lot of that stuff with the cloud stuff. I think it's super interesting. I don't really deal with it myself. Do I attend any tech conferences? I really haven't. I kind of want to in the future, especially now that, like, I was recognized on the street at one point, which was incredible. That was an amazing experience. Someone was like, yo, are you Dave from You Suck at Programming? I'm like, are you kidding me? That's awesome. So I probably want to do it now just to stroke my ego. What's the difference between C and C++? We don't have like 5 hours, so I can't explain it, sadly. Kubernetes, I know that it exists. I have no direct experience with it. That's about all I can say on that. You have to remember, like, I come from the Illumos world. I have the Illumos kernel. So when I want to make like a VM at home, I just go create a zone with CLI tools. Like, I don't have these clusters that I'm not worried about any of that stuff. Like, I'm just kind of doing it all. I would say old school, but even that almost has like a bad connotation with it. Like, no, I'm just, here's my hot take. I'm doing things the right way. Sitting or standing desk. I usually sit. Standing desk are kind of like I'm standing right now. I don't know how long I'll be able to do this. But right now I have a desk in front of my treadmill, so we're going to see if I can keep that up. That'd be kind of fun. What's your most helpful at-home tools? Impact driver. I think you mean on the computer, but you know what? Get yourself one of these. They're amazing. They can screw in anything. They're not like the old drills where they'll like twist your hand when they're done. No, they just torque out. Amazing. I'm a Makita guy. See what we got here. Any certifications? Nope, no certs. I don't care about that. You ever use Protobuf and Rust? Nope, never done that. I've used crates that have like installed it and stuff. What platform do you use for communicating with other developers? Instagram, IRC, Discord. That's about it. I really don't even talk to many other developers except like in a work context. What do you think about lead code? Never tried it. I have no idea. I think it's like challenges in different languages. Might be interesting. I'd like to see if they have any Bash ones or try to accomplish some of them in Bash. I think it'd be fun. Would you recommend learning C over C++? It always depends for what. What are your goals? What are you trying to learn? Why are you doing this? But yeah, probably. Thoughts about generative AI? I have a ton of thoughts about generative AI. The algorithms, they're just computer algorithms. I have nothing wrong with that. If they're being trained on data that they shouldn't have access to or that people didn't consent to, I'm not a big fan of that. But like the algorithms, it's just algorithms, not a big deal to me. Let's see. Okay, chat froze for a second and then it came back. This is weird. I'm not used to this chat interface. I've only gone live like on Twitch or whatever. Your first language? Java. I think it was Java. That almost got me out of computer science. I was like, yo, this sucks. 1 million cheese pizzas? Listen, I'm in my garage right now, but I got a cheese pizza coming. So after in a bit, I will have to actually step aside for a minute or two and go grab my pizza once it gets delivered. So there's that. Do you participate in the advent of code? No, I didn't even know it was a thing. I've gotten people DMing me, telling me about it. And they're like, you'd be awesome with this. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what this is. So I have to check it out. Let's see. You rock. Yeah, right back at you, kisses. Can we meme the scrums, please? Oh, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I hate Agile. I hate Scrum. I hate daily stand-up. I hate planning. I hate all of that methodology. It is so counter to how I get work done. I might be in the minority there. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. Yo, what's up? There he is. Foxhound. Check him out. Go check out Foxhound. Foxhound's got some great content. Another fellow content creator. Really good stuff. Did you go to college? Yes. Yes, I did. It was originally for computer science. Then I changed to more systems engineering stuff in college. Do you drink ciders? No. What kind of pizza? Cheese pizza. Any books you kept from school? Probably not. No, one of my favorite teachers would actually just like tell us to read the man pages and to read the RFCs. And I wasn't the best student, so I didn't read the RFCs. And then it wouldn't be till years later where I caught myself reading the RFCs. I was like, he got me. He got me. They're actually super useful. Like I still reference RFC 2119, which goes over definitions like should, should not, must not, shall not. Super useful. Really, really useful. Amazing shirt. Thank you. Yeah, I got to rock it. You a book guy? Read anything you recommend for Linux or Bash? The little Pocket O'Reilly books, the little Pocket guide books, they're super useful. They're going to get some information wrong, just like a little bit. Like it like gives you a really, really good starting spot. When it comes to greater books on that, if you want to learn systems in the operating system, K&R, the C programming language. The C programming language by Kernighan and Ritchie, K&R. Amazing book. Some of the stuff won't work directly on like Linux today. Certain things have changed. I want to say like in their example with LS, I think they do read dir as a syscall where you like open a dir and then you call read dir on it. But whereas now read dir is a C standard library call and it uses like get dn syscall under the hood. Very specific stuff. But the K&RC book is incredible. Oh my God. Thoughts on Emacs? I'm a Vim guy. Thanks for the shout out, homie. Yo, you got a Foxhound? Yeah, everyone go check out Foxhound. Foxhound's awesome. He makes sweet content, just really interesting stuff, really cloud focused, security focused. But I mean, he knows like technology. So really, really useful stuff. Can you show us your workspace? Not easily because I'm on a tripod right now, but maybe I'll do it a little bit later. Can we be here if we didn't say you're hot in the poll? You gave the wrong answer. So you kind of probably should have said I was hot, but you know. Bash is actually a language? Sure it is. Why not? Let's see. Vim or NVim? I'm a Vim guy. I don't need any of the features that NeoVim offers me, to be honest. I don't even know what the features would be. I think they do more like asynchronous loading of like external plugins and stuff like this. Don't quote me on that. I could be totally out of date there. But Vim just does what I need it to do, so I have no reason to look at anything else. That's what you'll find. A lot of the tools I use, like I've gotten them to the point where I'm comfortable with them and I don't really need them to change. So yeah. People can request to be in your live video. That's wild. No, I'm good right now. I'll figure out if I want to add people in like callers later, but for now I'm good. Just use Nano. Hey, I started with Nano. Nothing wrong with Nano. Nano's fine. Just use Pico. Was that the original, I think? Alcohol recommendations for coding? Yeah, probably don't. I mean, on my channel, I might talk about a million beers, but probably don't. I don't know if they actually mix. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to be so useless when it comes to job hunting stuff, guys. I'm just going to be so real. Yeah, I don't even know what the market's like. It's been a while since I've been out there. So hopefully other people in the comments can chime in. Created a pretty good community here. And I'm sure there are other, like I know for a fact there are other content creators that focus on that. So I would say go find them. Job hop to learn lots of environments or stay loyal to one and master it. Don't conflate your job with the environments that you can learn. They're totally separate. Your job is what pays you and that's what allows you to live. What you want to learn is totally up to you. That's the way I view it. So don't think that you're stuck in a job, so you're stuck in an environment. Yeah, you might be programming one thing at one job, but you can learn something else. That's kind of how I tackle it. What's your favorite type of music? Oh man, I'm like an electronic, metal, instrumental kind of guy. It's cool until I have to copy and paste something. Y to yank and P to paste. What else do you need? Would you rather only program in Python for the rest of your life or have a 4% chance of waking up covered in peanut butter every morning? What a wild question. Like, what a wild question. I'll take the peanut butter. That's fine. I could deal with that. Not a big deal. We will see editors like milli, kilo, mega, giga. Yeah, I think you're right. That makes sense. Is there a job for people who just like to review code? I wish there was. I wish people took code reviews more seriously. I wish people critiqued code. So not just saying like, hey, you don't have bugs, so it's good, but being like, what was the design choice here? Why did you choose to do it this way? Why'd you pull in this library versus this library? Why'd you choose this algorithm? I think that kind of stuff is useful. Do you suck at programming? Yeah, everyone does a little bit. Is it true you don't use a mouse? Nope. Did you just make that up? Go watch my videos. I actually highlight things with my mouse. So, I mean, no. Is Bash like automating terminal commands? So a terminal command, what's a terminal command? Your terminal is going to run some sort of shell, and the commands will be interpreted by your shell. Bash is just one of those shells. There are other shells, but the terminal is just housing your shell. And your shell could be Bash or it could be something else. So that's kind of how that works. That's a way of conceptualizing it in your brain. How hard should you avoid using a library that already exists? Probably not. If it exists and it's good, I would say use it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. If you're at like a job or something, you just got to figure out if the license is compatible. You have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. Security, things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't avoid them. Are you able to play a Temple S theme on the piano right now? If I had a piano in front of me, yes. It'd be super easy. Put your hand on D. Is it in the key of A? Yeah, I can play it. Easy. What phone do you use and why? iPhone 13 mini. I like iPhones. I like the mini size. I won't upgrade until they give me a smaller phone. I hate big phones. 1 second. Pizza's getting delivered. Nice. Got a little camera over there. I can see my front door. Let's see. Let's see. Bro, I do so many code reviews every day. That's awesome. I mean, I do code reviews as well, and we kind of do critiques. We really dig into it. I just like, I wish that culture was everywhere. I think it's really important because like I make jokes on my channel where it's like, oh, 1,000 lines changed. Yeah, it looks good to me. But in reality, you should be digging into them and figuring out, what's going on. Oh my God, I'm way behind. Let's see. Watching an iPhone 13 mini right now. Respect. That's awesome. Oh, red one? That's sick. Yeah, I got the black one. What's your music experience? I play piano, I play guitar, all self-taught. My name's Dave Eddy. Go look me up on Spotify. You can listen to my albums right now. I just released a new album this year called Nightfall. It's like 13 tracks of nice piano, relaxing music. It might not be 13 tracks. I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. Show us the man cave. Where do you think you are? You're in my garage. I'll go search bash tutorials on YouTube. Hopefully sometime soon you'll come up with me, because that's what I want to do. I want to build like a tutorial or something useful for people to kind of get started. Because so many people ask, how do I get started? And I'm like, I wish I had a better answer. Let's see. Should I go with learning bash or PowerShell? Honest answer, depends on your operating system. If you're typically on Windows, do PowerShell. If you're on like any sort of Unix, do bash. The goated answer is learn both, because why not? Foxhound says both. Yeah, exactly. This is why I trust Foxhound, okay? Let's see. Thanks for your set. I'm going to do something else. Awesome. Heck yeah. Enjoy it. Nightfall's on repeat. Yo, Foxhound's a real one. 100%. Listen, I want to do a stream where I review people's codes, because I've reviewed AI scripts, but some people have sent me their own scripts, and you know what? I would love to do it. I would absolutely go through and check out people's codes like that. Let's see. Okay, chat's died down a little bit. This is a good time. I'm going to step away for 1 minute. I'm going to go grab my pizza, all right? Be back, 1 minute. Pizza's a mess. Oh my God. All right, I'm back, everyone. My hands are all messy. I probably shouldn't look to the back scroll, so I'll just try to keep up. Oh God. This is so good. How much is Dave benching these days? Not enough. That's all I'll say. I had to take a little time off. I hurt my knee, and then I've been dealing with weird health stuff. I'm going to the doctors tomorrow, so I've unfortunately had to take a break, but I want to get back into it. Because, man, let me tell you, benching, repping out 2 plates felt really, really good. I was like, yo, I'm getting stronger. That's nice. But I'm also getting bigger. I'm putting on muscle. That's great, but I'm also putting on a little bit of a gut, so I got to lose that too. So I'm starting to cut now, so it doesn't look like it, but promise I am. Yeah, a lot of the cheese fell off. It's unfortunate. It's just sitting there in the box, so I'm going to grab some of it. If we're in for system engineering, what would you be doing? Oh, God, I don't know. Making music and making video games, probably. But I like system engineering. I wouldn't want to do anything else, to be honest. Hot take on OOP. Is it really a hot take? I don't like it. Are you bulking? I was. Not anymore. I bulked for too long. Now I'm just fat. So I gotta lose some of it. I'm stronger, but, you know, put on a little bit too much weight. God, it's so good. Grab another slice. This piece is a mess. Oh my God. Listen, I love this shirt. When I first started the stream, it was reversed. I was like, oh, this sucks. It took me like 8 years to figure out how to mirror the camera. That was so dumb. So yeah, I don't know what people want from a live stream. Like obviously I got the whiteboard. I could do some like whiteboard bash script problems. I don't know if that's useful for people or not. It's super greasy pizza. I love it. Oh my gosh, so good. To answer the question about OOP, object-oriented programming, I'd probably have to make a video diving into it. It just fundamentally goes against, I think, how the computer works. I think it's more like for humans than computers, and it assumes this weird, like, platonic form of objects, and it feels foreign to me. I'm not a big fan of it. Do a system design. Okay. Want me to draw a little cloud and have it point to a server, and then have it point to like Nginx and say front end. I guess I could. I mean, I'm just describing like an interview at this point. Oh, this pizza's so good. I just like Illumos. I've been using it for almost 15 years now. Illumos might have come out 15, 14 years ago. Yeah. Zones, the networking stack, dtrace, all that stuff. Like I don't know. I can't really live without it. I've just gotten so used to it. Let's see. Oh boy, there's so much here. Sorry guys if I'm missing your stuff. How much content do you keep in the queue, if any? Have you seen how short my hair is in some of those You Suck at Programming videos? I had a TikTok well before I had an Instagram, so we're catching up to the present day, but I have a little bit of stuff queued up. Explain how to get both standard out and the return code of a function that's timed with the time utility. I have to think about that one, but I could probably do that one. What do you game on? 4090 Windows computer. I boot it up, I game, and I turn it off. That's it. Ooh, C program with communications? A server where you send strings? Oh, that's awesome. That's fun. My tips on how to start with it. You're going to want a man socket. You're going to want a man bind. Man connect. And have fun. How many tabs do you have in your browser? 5 max, never more than that. Ew, God, I can't stand people that have so many tabs. That's wild to me. I'm gonna grab another slice. I'll be right back. Whoever said that pizza's greasy. Look at that. Oh my God. Amazing. Incredible. Clean code doesn't exist? Yeah, look at all my codes. Gorgeous. Immaculate. Perfect. No, Factorio's not one of them. If I'm gaming, there was Overwatch for a while, Fortnite, Super Mario 64, StarCraft, that kind of stuff. Yeah. God, this is fantastic. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't get enough of this. I can't get enough of this. This is so good. I feel so gross just eating on stream, but this is ASMR. Mukbang. You spun up your first VM and started playing with Linux? Yo, that is awesome. I appreciate it. Someone bought a badge. I think that gives me money. Thank you if you did. That's incredible. I don't really know how these live streams work, so I'm sorry if there's something else I'm supposed to do, but yo, appreciate it. Yo, order a pizza. Oh my God. Hot take on freelancing? I don't have any hot takes. I have no idea. Never done it. How do I host my local IP with SSH without a limit on HTTP requests? I don't even know what that means. Like, I'm sorry, I don't even understand what your question is. Orb stack? I don't even know if I know what orb stack is. You're out of my area of expertise here. Yo, people buying badges. Yo, appreciate it. Should I start begging for money on lives? What is it on TikTok? Guys, we need galaxies. Everyone in here right now, tap your screen. We need galaxies, guys. Galaxies, galaxies, galaxies. I don't know what the equivalent is on Instagram. Someone's going to have to tell me. Hair routine. I just wing it. That's what I do. Your stuff's awesome. That is all. Much appreciated. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Thank you for saying that. That's awesome. You suck at GoFundMe's. Dude, I don't know how to beg for money. That's tough. I made a video where I'd show people that I have a Ko-fi account, KO-FI. I'm like, hey, you can donate if you want to, but like, don't. I'm doing okay, guys. I'm doing okay. You suck at begging. Dude, I really am begging. What am I supposed to say? Hey guys, you should give me money. Look at me in my garage with my built-in workshop. Like, let me rub it in your face. I'm not rich or wealthy, like by any stretch, but I'm doing okay, guys. So, definitely not gonna beg. Dude, Instagram just keeps telling me people keep joining and leaving. That's super annoying. OrbStack similar to Docker, I believe. I'm recently switched from Docker to Podman because of better open source license. I've been looking into that because I have to use some Docker stuff at home for like software that I just cannot get compiled on a Lumos, and they say Docker is their recommended way of installing. That's the brave new world. And I just am not the biggest fan of Docker. My buddy keeps telling me to check out Podman, so I got to do that because it seems like that's the way to do it. Tracts of land are vast. Yes, they are. What path do you take in terms of programming? My buddy in middle school showed me how to hack the original Xbox. So this was like 2001. And that set me on a path when we installed Linux on it. I was like, oh, Linux, can we just install Windows like a real operating system? And he's like, bro, when you learn this, you're not gonna wanna use Windows. And man, was he wrong, because Linux was so confusing, and Googling things on a 56K modem, I couldn't find anything. But I just kept at it. And then I met a dude in college, and he kind of showed me all his cool networking stuff, and then it all came together. I was like, actually, wait, this is dope. I like this. Docker versus Nix. Docker I use a tiny bit, and Nix everyone has told me to check out. I hope you like that unsatisfying answer. My God, this is good. Visiting Jordan. I've never been there. Yeah, I travel outside of the U.S. Canada, Mexico, London. I've been places. What's your name, brother? You should be on here, right? You suck at programming. You also find my name, Dave Eddy. Go check out my website. Go check out my name. There you go. Rust-based terminals, like what? Like Alacrity? I've heard of that one. I've never used it. Think it's a cool idea. But again, I find something that works and I just use it. I don't need any extra things. Like someone was trying to convince me to use some terminal that was like AI powered, and I was like, yeah, okay, like get the hell out of here. I'm good. I'm good, bro. Let's see. Software engineering degree? Nope. My degree is more specific to like systems administration, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really talk about it much on this channel. I don't talk about my job or my degree much. Not that I'm trying to grift or anything. I just literally I'm not getting that personal on this channel. I like to talk about Unix and fun stuff like that. And if you guys want my credentials, I'll tell you, too bad. You can just watch me code and determine for yourself if you think I'm worth it or not. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, I just like to prove my worth that way. Let's see, what time is it? All right, I could stay live for a little bit longer, assuming people still have questions. Otherwise, is there anything people want to see me do? Let's see, I could maybe code something. I don't even know what I'd code. Hello from Canada. Yo, what's up? Hello from the US. Oh, incredible. Oh, cool. It froze. Nice. Would you consider doing some tutorial type videos for beginners? Yes. I absolutely 100% want to do that. I want to start doing longer form content, tutorials for people who maybe have never even touched a terminal before, just to get the concepts down. And then beyond that, I want to do videos where I just kind of yap, like pick a topic and just talk about it, like, why the Unix philosophy is important to me, things like that. Bash scripting tutorial, of course. I mean, that would be easy. I could do that without preparing. You just put me in front of a camera and I can just start teaching Bash. Like, that is my specialty. For no other reason than I want it to be. HTTPS request in Bash. Someone who's seen my videos. Listen, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the HTTP request in pure Bash. I'm going to show how to do it using SOCAT and using, what's the other one? The OpenSSL CLI tools. And then I want to do it in pure Bash, no external tools. It's going to be insane, okay? The pure HTTP request in Bash is like 2 to 3 minutes long. I expect this to take, it could be over an hour because we have to do TLS handshake. We have to talk about the actual protocols, the different ciphers. We're going to have to do encryption and decryption of bytes in Bash. It's going to be slow. It's going to be bug-ridden. It's going to be wild, but I am going to get Hello World to transfer across the wire with SSL and pure Bash. That is my goal, okay? Because the video is going to be insane. It's going to be long. It's going to be insane, though. So, yes, I've already decided that I am doing this because it's wild. Let's see. Sounds epic? Yeah. Yep, that's my goal. That's my goal. Also, some dude on I think it was TikTok where the reply first came from. It was like a month ago or something. The dude said, like, there's no way you could write Bash and array specific notations on a whiteboard without Google or shell check. And I just replied to it because I was like, dude, you don't know who you're talking to. Like, my whole channel is built around this. Of course I can. I don't even know if I could do it with like an AI assistant because I would just get too angry. But it was just so wild to me. And when I post that video on Instagram, it's gotten over 1 million views. People loved it. They were like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about, but I trust you. So if anyone wants to see me do array notation on the whiteboard right now, I can do it. It seems like it'd be boring, but I can definitely do it. Let's see. Oh boy, okay, got a lot of stuff. Catching up. So I mean, like, I could do that, but like, is that interesting? I'll do it. If that's what people want, I can do it right now. I'm not gonna Google, I'm not gonna shell check, like, I'll just do it. You guys can copy my code and check to see if it works. Let's see what we got here. I'll try to make it big enough so you can read it, and hopefully I don't run out of space, but I mean, where's my markers? Also, I might be missing the chat a little bit because I gotta, turn around and stuff. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I guess people want me to do it. Okay. This is so skibbity. Yeah, dude, this is so Phantom Tax. Ohio, Rizzler, Kaisenat. Chat, is this real? Gada. Yeah, there you go. That's the brain rot you get out of me. As a millennial man. Bigger whiteboard. I know. That's coming in the future. Believe it or not, I actually went out to buy this one because it's bigger than what I currently had. They didn't have the size up. They had the huge one I wanted, but it wasn't going to fit in my car, so I got to figure out if they can do delivery or if I got to get DiGiorno or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Oh, wow. I just made chat really small. That's the opposite of what I would want. This interface is blow. Oh, my God. Here's what I want. I just want to have like the webcam over here, and I want a terminal where I can just connect to the chat and watch it live stream in on the side. Like, I got to set up OBS, I guess. What do you guys want me to do? So I can show basic arrays in Bash. I can make an array with like 3 elements, loop over the element, and print them. It seems super boring, but maybe I should just do that because that is the challenge, right? The one dude was like, there's no way you could do array syntax without looking it up, and I can show you that. It's like super easy. I'll just do it. I'm done talking. If you're typing, I'm not going to be able to read it. Here we go. First things first, got to do the shebang. User bin env. Oh. Bash. How does that look? Is that readable? It actually is surprisingly readable. My handwriting sucks, but that is readable. I might, let's see if I can do it all in this amount of space I have. Let's make a new variable. We'll call it ARR, which is short for array. Equals, there's no space between the equal sign and the array name. There's no space here either. We're going to open a parenthesis, and we're going to say foo, space bar, space baz, close parenthesis. You don't need to put quotes around the strings in there because we're not worried about expansions or anything, so we can leave the quotes out. We have made an array that now has 3 elements. Array spot 0 is foo, array spot 1 is bar, array spot 2 is baz, okay? Now we're gonna loop over them. We're gonna loop over it using a bash built-in for loop, okay? So we're gonna say for elem, E-L-E-M, which is short for element, for elem in. Now we have to use, this is the notation. This is the one that I have to Google and I have to look up on shell check, right? Yeah, no, I don't have to do that. We're gonna put a quote, $, open curly brace, ARR, which is the name of the array, open square bracket, @, close square bracket, close curly, close quote, semicolon, DO for do. Then we'll go back here, we'll echo quote, $ELEM, close quote, done. Now we're gonna act like a compiler and we're gonna look at this, okay? Shebang of user slash, that's a slash by the way, slash bin slash env bash. So we're gonna invoke the env command, which is then gonna invoke bash. It's gonna find an inner path. We're going to make a variable called ARR. We're going to set it equal to open parenthesis foo space bar space baz. This will create an array of 3 elements. And then we will do for elem in open quote, $, curly brace, ARR, open bracket, @, close bracket, close curly, close the quote, semicolon do, echo elem, and done. And this will print foo, new line, bar, new line, baz, new line. There you go. That's why when the dude made the comment, I was like, bro, this is so easy. Like, this is so easy. Like, of course I could do this. Are you kidding me? Like, if I'm going to come here and talk about Bash and tell you guys suck at programming, I better be able to do something basic. Okay? So, yeah, that's it. That's what that person said I wouldn't be able to do, which is like, how easy is this? You can go ahead and run this in your own terminals if you want to, check it. I can guarantee it's going to work. If it doesn't work, it's probably your fault. You probably copied it in wrong. Like, that sounds mean, but like I'm being honest. Like, it's just because it's hard to read. That's really what it is. Is syntax really worth remembering though? Yes. Yep, they are. Why not use /bin/bash? Because /bin, there's a history behind it, but /bin/bash might not be where bash lives, but you're more likely that env will live in /user/bin. It's a more portable thing, but if you're writing it for a specific system, I would say use whatever path you want. Like, I don't really care where the shebang is. If you know your systems, then put your shebang in there, whatever you want. Are spaces delimiters? Yes. In bash, the space between them separates the words. So that's how it'll work. If I were to put single quotes or double quotes around any of those things, like foo, bar, baz, it's really hard to point to them. The quotes will just be removed. Bash has a thing called quote removal, which I'll go through and do. So, yep. Let's see. Cool. Now we're getting comments like, what is bash? So, target audience achieved. But yeah, this is the thing that the person said would be so difficult. Now invert a binary tree. Yeah, that's going to require a little bit of a bigger whiteboard. Don't you need a semicolon before done? No. The only reason you need a semicolon is if you're going to separate commands. So technically the do in the for loop can be on its own line, and then you wouldn't need the semicolon. But if you put a new line, it's effectively the same as a semicolon. Or an ampersand will also act as a command terminator, I believe is the term. Can you walk through the quote array? Yes, I can do that. Let's see. So this question is really good. They're talking about, let's try to use a different color actually. They're talking about this right here. What is happening there? So I will talk about it from the inside and work my way out. ARR is the name of the variable. The name of the variable is here. That is the same thing. So whatever this is, this should be the same thing, ARR. Then, in order to expand a variable in Bash, you need to put a $sign in front of it. So first we had ARR, that's the name of the variable. If we want to expand it, we need a $sign in front of it. If we put the $sign in front of ARR, it will expand to the first element of the array. It won't expand all elements. So if we want all elements of the array, we have to put a square bracket here, a square bracket here, and we have to index the array now. And what can we index it by? The @sign. The @sign is what says, give me all of the elements of the array. But hold on. If we were going to just use this syntax, it wouldn't work, because it would expand $ARR, and then it would also have a literal square bracket, a literal @sign, and a literal square bracket. So instead, we need to tell Bash, hey, that square bracket, all that crap, that's part of the array. So this all gets handled as part of the array expansion. The last thing we do is we put quotes around it. The quotes are very important because the quotes prevent word splitting. This allows this to split into all its individual parts without being further split based on the IFS variable, which is set to a space, new line, and tab by default. So this will skip any sort of splitting there. So this is how you expand an array into all of its elements properly without breaking them in Bash. If people could just commit this to memory, there'd be so much less Bash bugs out there in the world, okay? It's crazy. So yeah, hopefully that explanation was useful. This language is Bash. Bash shell, Bash scripting, that is the name of the language that we are learning here today. Any questions about this example? I wish I could show the output of it running. God, my handwriting sucks. If I do this in the future, I should just do it on a terminal. Like, let's be honest. If we put 1 in the square bracket, it's going to call the second value of array, right? Yes, correct, 100%. If you were to swap this out with, I'll do a different color, the number 1 here. This doesn't work. Yoink. If we were to swap this out with the number 1, oh my God, what's wrong with these? I got bad markers. Please work. Yes, if we were to swap this out with the number 1, that would give you the second element of the array, which in this case would be bar. There are magical numbers you can put in there. So you could put an @sign, which will expand to all of the items. You can put a star, very similar, and people get tripped up with this, but the star is for joining it together as a string. So you know, if you're in a language like Python or JavaScript or something, there's array.join. And you can say, hey, I have this array of stuff, but I want to join it based on like a space. Think of the star notation in Bash as joined. The star is saying, hey, I want a big string that's joined based on the first character of the IFS variable. IFS. So the first character, spaces, new lines, and tabs, it will be a space. So that will create a giant string of all the elements array joined by spaces. That is not what we want in this case. We want all of the items individually, so we want the @sign. Just some special notation there. Any questions so far on this? Let's see. Thoughts on the language Amber that compiles to Bash? I want to make a video where I talk about that. I don't know how big the Amberling project is. People have asked me about it. I remember I looked it up a little bit and I was like, oh, this is smaller than I thought it'd be. So this is gonna sound weird. I was almost uncertain if I should make a video about it because the hell is that? I wasn't sure if I should make a video on it because I don't know how big my audience is and if it would like override their audience. I would hate to like send people to this project if I had criticisms about it. But I do want to check it out, and if I do have criticisms, I'd probably make like GitHub pull requests and issues and stuff. Let's see. It outputs elements as strings. In Bash, I mean, you're kind of dealing with like everything being strings. That's not quite true, but for the most part, you can think of it that way. Yeah, that happens if your iPhone sees you doing a thumbs up. Yeah, exactly, it does. I don't see me doing a thumbs up. I can't believe that's just on for like all apps. Like when you want it to work, it just doesn't work. So that's sick. So stupid. I think I can actually like turn off reactions, but I don't actually care. Any shells that don't require quotes? I don't know. I know Bash. I have no idea how other shells do it. I want to say Z shell might have some smart ability to not expand things, but I really don't know. I feel like you and Python would get along. I've written Python in the past. It's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Everyone around me seemed to love it, and they were like drinking from the Python Kool-Aid, and I was like, it's fine. What type of software do you create for what type of industry business? Lower level sysadmin stuff, typically dealing with systems, operating systems, installing OSs, firmware upgrades, stuff like that, and typically it's in Rust. Obviously I do bash scripts whenever they're necessary. Teach awk. Oh, awk's fun. Awk would be something I have to brush up a little bit on. I can do basic awk, obviously. But yeah, things like that. I'm trying to think of like other fun stuff you could do. Here's a cool thing you can do in Bash. Actually, I will show you right now. Here's a really cool thing you do. We'll use this example, right? If we take this example and we change this array. There it is. If we just change this array and we make it a star, that's all we did was change that array to a star. This will loop every file in the current directory because the star will expand like a glob to every file, and you will have a list of all file names stored in an array in Bash, which is super useful. But be careful, because if the directory is empty, you will do something called a null glob, and if you don't have that option set in your shell, you will get a literal star character. You may have seen that if you go to like rm star.txt, and it'll say, no such file, star.txt. That means there were no text files. There are shell options to get around this, but this is a really cool way, r equals, parentheses star parentheses, of getting all the files in your current directory into an array in Bash. Let's see. What do you think about Rust? I love it. Rust is awesome. Oh my God, I love Rust. It's great. It's absolutely great. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'll probably quit the live relatively soon, but is there any other thing that people would want to see? Any Bash questions that people have? I realize this probably wasn't super exhilarating. I don't know how exhilarating whiteboard coding could be. But yeah, any questions people have? Anything people want me to go over? Oh, man. There we go. Fortran, never written it. Do you need to specify array on its own line? I mean, you could space it out among multiple lines. You could break the elements based on new lines. That's kind of useful if there are like long elements in it. Great first slide, big guy. Yo, appreciate it, man. Command substitution. Vim or Nano? Vim. Command substitution. I mean, I can talk about command substitution. Common piping example. What games? All right, here. Let's do some command substitutions. You ready for this? Here we go. Okay, I don't know how easy that is to read. Okay, how about we do some of this? Woo, look at that. This is really simple. So we make a variable called out, and we set it equal to $, open paren, and then inside there we can put whatever command we want. In this case, we did echo hello. So in this example, out will be set to the standard out of the command echo, and echo standard out will be hello with the new line at the end of it. But command substitution will strip new lines, okay? This is very important to remember. This is why shells just kind of work magically. So out will be set to the string hello without a new line, and code will be set to the exit code of echo. So echo is pretty much going to work. I don't expect echo to fail here. But if this was a different command, you would have the standard out in one variable, you would have the exit code in another variable, and the standard error would be inherited by your terminal, and it would have been printed to the user as it came available. Just important things to be aware about. Let's see. Can you explain the difference between a hard link and a soft link in Linux? Sure. Yeah, why not? In order to understand links, you have to understand how files are stored on your file system. So let's pretend we're a terminal, okay? Ready for this? Let's touch foo.text. So we're going to create a file. We're actually going to touch a file called foo.text. In this example, let's assume that nothing exists. We're in a fresh directory. There are no files there. I'm not doing any tricks here. We're going to touch foo.text. So now foo.text is the only file in this directory. This is a regular file, and we can see this. If we were to stat, this is the command, stat. This is named after the underlying syscall that it'll use. Technically, it'll use lstat, but we're going to stat the file. This will tell us what the file is, and it's an important thing, how many links there are, okay? So we're going to get inode information about the file, and this will say one link. So, how are files stored? When you store a file, you have a couple things that make up a file. You might have heard of this. You have the file's inode and the file's content. The content is what's inside of the file. When you cat the file, it shows you the contents. The inode is metadata about the file. This is modified time, access time, change time. This is permissions. This is owner. This is group. This is all the metadata about the file. And one of those things is the number of links, okay? So you can actually see how many links the file has. Now, what is a link? Well, where is the file name stored? A lot of people think the file name is going to be in the inode. It's actually not. The file name is going to be in the directory. So when you ls a directory, it will call readdir on that directory, and it will show you a list of the file names. All it does is have the name of the file and then the inode that it points to. It links the name of the file to the inode. So the fact that there's one link here, it means this file is only in one directory once. That is all that means, okay? So if we were to create a symlink, you ready for this? This is ln. This is the command to make a symlink. This is the command to make a link. Let's make it a symlink with -s. And then you have the source and the destination. So the source will be the existing file, foo.text, and bar.text. Now we will have two files. We have foo.text, which is our original file, but now we'll have bar.text. Bar.text is not a regular file. It is a symlink. It is a separate file, and it is not going to show up as its own link because it is its own file. This is something important. It's a special type of file. It's called a symlink. There are many special types of files. Socket, Unix domain socket, character special device, block special device, directory is a special type of file, and symlink is a special type of file. So it is its own special type of file. But, ready for a hard link? No -s here. We're just going to say foo.text, this is the original source, to baz with a z .text. Now, if we were to stat baz.text, it will have two links. See how this first one had one link and this next one had two links? Here's the thing. baz.text and foo.text will both have two links because baz.text and foo.text will point to the same inode. There are two directory entries pointing to one inode. They will share the same inode number. They are the exact same inode. That's what a hard link is. A hard link is two or more directory entries that point to the same inode. A symlink is different. A symlink is its own special type of file. It does not affect the link count. It actually is its own type of file. It will have a separate inode. Hard links do not have a separate inode. They are hard. They link directly to the thing. They both, you can think of the directory entries as pointers. They both point right to the same thing. So, how was that? I wasn't even prepared for that. That's just all off the top of my dome. I may have gotten some stuff wrong. I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure it's accurate. So rm-baz.txt also removes foo.txt? No. Because when you rm a file, the syscall that gets called under the hood is unlink. You are just unlinking it. So if you unlink foo.txt or baz.txt, that inode will go back down to one link, but that file content was still there. Until the number of links goes down to 0, the contents won't actually go anywhere. They'll still be there. So yeah. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your questions. I'm realizing now, like, this would probably be a really good topic to, like, do a deep dive of on, like, YouTube or some sort of longer form content. Because sometimes I want to make videos about this stuff, but it's so hard to distill some of this stuff down in 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no problem. If your rm foo.txt does baz.txt still exists? Yes. The file still exists and the contents are still there. Until you remove both of them, those contents are still there. But yes, they are linked in the sense that they both have the same metadata. They both point to the same metadata, but those file names are 2 totally separate file names. So, yeah. Yes, hard link will have a single set of metadata, and a symlink could have multiple. Yes, but with permissions, it gets a little bit weird, because if you look at symlinks, sometimes you'll see their permissions are 777, and sometimes they fall through. There are weird rules about that. I think some operating systems might handle it differently. I don't know what POSIX specifies there. I'd have to double check into that. But yeah, the symlink will have its own inode. Yeah, that's the best way to practice, is just to make directories and files and kind of mess around with the commands to get an understanding of it. Let's see. The only way to really remove files is to overwrite them. Yeah, depending on how you define remove. Because when I think of remove file, my brain is just like, yeah, just unlink it, like no longer point to it. But yeah, if you want to get rid of the contents, you probably have to overwrite the contents. Even then, depends on your file system. Like, if you're using a block level file system, you might just be allocating new blocks and not even touching the old ones. So be careful about that. What Linux topics do you suggest bring up in my cloud engineer interview to impress them with my Linux knowledge? There's no cheat code to impress people with your knowledge. Just gain the knowledge, and impressing people is a symptom of that. It's a side effect. Don't go into something with the idea of, I'm going to do this to impress them, because if you get pressed on it and you can't go deeper with the knowledge, it's gonna look terrible. Don't make impressing people your goal. Just collect knowledge. That's my advice there. How late are you? A little bit late. I might be calling it soon. Not feeling too hot just in general. So the Tylenol's wearing off. That's what I can tell is going on. Oh, man. Yeah, if you want to overwrite files on a file system, it's going to depend on the block level device. It's going to depend on the underlying hardware that's used. SSDs, NVMEs, hard drives, they all have different ways of handling that. So, like, this is forensics, this is security, this is a different world that I live in. In the world that I live in, I just RM a file, it unlinks it, and then I'm good to go, because I don't care if it can be recovered later. I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see. Going to the doctor's tomorrow, hopefully get some answers and kind of deal with this. It's been lame because I wanted to make content, but then I kind of get tired and just feel a little bit woozy towards the end of the night, and that's no fun. Let's see. Why is it that you can't rewrite a file if it's a running process, but you can move to rename it? I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. What happens when you move a file? You're using the rename syscall. If your operating system has a rename syscall, and that's going to link and unlink the file in an atomic way, it has nothing to do with the contents. The file name and the contents are so far away from each other, like, you can modify one without touching the other. Let's see. I thought all the ladies would fall in love with me if I just bring up syscalls. I was lied to. Skill issue. They fall in love with me when I bring it up. So they love when I talk about syscalls. Oh my God. Explanation of sticky bit permissions. I should do that. It'll be in a different live. It won't be in this one, but I can do that one. Sticky bit's really neat, especially because like how does it act on a file versus how does it work on a directory? Yeah, like why is /temp typically sticky bitted? Yeah, there's some cool stuff to talk about. I can't really get into it right now. Let's see. When you start your programming journey, probably seriously got into sysadmin stuff like 2008. Probably around then. I had dabbled with it in the past, but 2008 was when I got like real serious about it. Yeah. What's your favorite SSH tunneling method tool? I use WireGuard, and then it's basically as if I'm sitting in my house. So that's kind of how I accomplish that. Would you have language if you already have a year or two experience from another? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Can you explain like what you're asking? Should be S-tracing them. Yeah, S-trace is definitely a useful Linux utility. I was 4 years old in 2008. That's awesome. I was in college in 2008. Yeah, it was fun. I was in college and everyone's like, yeah, put your money in a savings account. And then the market crashed and just never recovered. I was like, oh, sick. Yeah, cool. My money's totally safe. You ever done port knocking? No, I'm aware of it. I don't really care about it. I've just never really messed with it. I should say that. It's a cool like idea. Would you change language when you already have a year or two experience in one? Oh, yeah. Let me think of how to address this. Because the question is, that's all good. It's all good. I don't think that you're stuck with a language. So it's not like you have to change languages. Like you can learn other languages all at the same time. So you're never really stuck with one. If you do feel like you're stuck with one, you can always look up another one on your own time and kind of learn it. I would definitely recommend doing that. Like I knew a couple of years ago, if I wanted a Rust job, I got to start learning Rust. Like that's the way to do it. So yeah, don't ever feel like you're stuck, I would say. Set up your own local FTP server with Linux. My first question would be why, because you can just SCP over SSH, and that will give you like the secure variant. So I just need to know more information. I don't even know if I've ever I've set up a TFTP server. I think light TFTPD was the daemon I used. I like your Unix shirt. Yo, thank you. Do you have any time to talk about standard out and standard error? I think you've asked a couple times, so I think I will do that. That's probably useful. Is there anything specifically you want me to talk about? Because it's kind of a broad subject, but is there like something specifically that's confusing about it? Let's see. Oh, using Bash, Python, Fortran, C, that's fun stuff, man. I feel so dumb in one language, yet I feel like I don't know. Yeah, that's not weird. That's normal. It's okay. You gotta tough it out. I felt really dumb with Rust, and now after using it for a couple of years, I still feel really dumb with Rust. It's okay. So yeah, I mean, I do want to talk about standard out, standard error. I don't really know specifically what you're asking. I can give a general overview of it though. Like in Unix, when a file is or when a program is executed, it is typically given 3 file descriptors. I should actually double check this. I believe it has to do this. Like these are the rules in order to be a POSIX compliant system. But the way this works is like if your bash shell is going to, let's say you run echo on your bash shell. Echo's a bad example. Let's say you run ls on a bash shell, okay? When ls gets created by your bash shell, it will go through a couple processes. Your bash process will fork itself, and then it will call exec. So fork is a syscall to turn one process into 2. The child process will then exec into ls. Before any of that stuff happens, a lot of stuff gets set up. So bash will fork itself, and then it will have file descriptors that it can create in that new process before it execs. So it will make sure that you have 3 file descriptors before you exec. File descriptor 0, file descriptor 1, and file descriptor 2. File descriptor 0 will be inherited from your terminal. It will be standard input. File descriptor 1 will be standard out. That is probably your terminal. And file descriptor 2 will be standard error. That is probably your terminal. So from LS's point of view, there are 3 open file descriptors right at the beginning. It can write to file descriptor 1, which is your output. It can write to file descriptor 2, which is where its errors will go. And it can read from file descriptor 0. Any program will work like that. Now, Bash can modify what those are. It's like if you're using a pipeline, we're going to change what those file descriptors means, but LS doesn't have to know that. LS, or the child process in this case, just knows it has 3 file descriptors open and what they're supposed to be used for. So maybe that demystifies it. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm talking about the system calls Bash is making. So I'm trying to make sure I'm answering this question in a way that makes sense. All right, well, hopefully that answer was sufficient. Cool. Yeah. All right, I'm probably going to call it here. Are there any questions before I go? Anything you guys absolutely want to know? Future of the channel, things like that. Can you write a script automated task? I don't think I can do that right now. Yeah, I use makefiles. If you go to my website in my bio, that whole website is generated by bash scripts in a makefile. It's all open source, so you can find the source. You just got to kind of click around, you'll find it. Establishing a career. I don't have any advice, but a lot of people in my comments always talk about it. So I'd say go to my videos, look at the comments, and you'll find people, like-minded people that are in the job market and trying to learn about that stuff. Cool. Let's see. What should you know most for programming for security? I don't know. I'm not a security guy. Go find a security creator like Foxhound. I would recommend him. He's got great security concept stuff like that. A lot of cloud stuff, but definitely he's got a security understanding, which is really cool. Full intro bash course. Yes, I am still planning on doing that. No ETA yet, but yes, that is my goal. I want to do that. Thanks for the stream. Hope you feel better. Yo, appreciate that. That's awesome. Do you ever go on Twitch live? I haven't. I don't plan to, but maybe I will in the future. Who knows? Thank you for coming to sharing the knowledge. Yo, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could probably do more streams in the future. It's it's fun. I enjoy it. I like talking in front of a camera. I love your honesty way too much. Yeah, that's I'm glad people enjoy it because I think some people can probably find it off-putting because like if I disagree with something, I'll be like, yeah, I disagree. Or if I don't know something, like I don't know. Like I'm not gonna BS you. I'm not gonna make up an answer. Yeah, RTFM. Read the Fascinating Man pages. I agree 100%. Got to give Kai Snat a run for his money on Twitch. Yeah, dude. L that loser. Riz, Ohio, Kai Snat, etc. All right. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by. Appreciate it. If anyone asks, I was able to do bash syntax notation for arrays on a live stream because it's so easy. Like I don't even know why someone thought that'd be a challenge. That's crazy. Ever get exhausting having such glorious hair? No, it's easy being me. I'm used to just being the hottest man alive, so I've gotten pretty used to it. I got merch coming. You mentioned t-shirts. Merch will be coming soon. It's not here yet, but I have ideas for different t-shirts and stuff like that. So if people want You Suck at Programming merch, it's coming. So don't worry about that. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to jump off. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to figure out how to end this live stream like a boomer. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.